They call me great and terrible, I'm yours. Why is it so hard to find an enemy who's worthy? All the same, want the fame, still they don't deter me. Mountains of gold, love to watch them as they scurry, flying above, breathing fire in my fury. Pass through my threshold, who the hell are you? Wings outstretched and you know the legends. True. Teeth like swords and you're clicking in your boots. You found the nightmare, now it's too late. Monster, you call me a monster, like I'm the big bad monster. I'll show you a monster. Get ready. Hear my shrieks that break apart your capital. You can't tally every soul I send below. On your knees, revere and burn, it's wonderful. They call me great and terrible, I'm your foe. They call me great and terrible, I'm your foe. I'm your foe. Ooh, you passed through my threshold, who the hell are you? Wings outstretched and you know the legends. Teeth like swords and you're quickening your boots. You found the nightmare, now it's too late. monster. You call me a monster, like I'm the big bad monster. I'll show you a monster. You ready? Hear my shrieks that break apart your capital. You can't tally every soul I send below. On your knees, revere and burn, it's wonderful. They call me great and terrible, I'm your foe. They call me great and terrible, I'm your foe.
That should be my mic. There, it's working. And now let's get your mics up. Do 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 do. That's the wrong one. Because I'm not very smart and sometimes I'm dumb. Do 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 do.
No, you are smart. It's just that sometimes you're missing the SMRT, like the A. There's a vowel in there.
All right. So now that I have been, publicly chastised, which is only what I deserved. Absolutely. Welcome back to Dinner and a Game, everyone. We hope you guys are having a good night. Maybe we can make it a better night. Maybe we'll make it worse because we're gonna suck. We don't know. We're gonna try something, anything to make something happen tonight, and it'll probably just be chaos. But we hope you enjoy that. This is Dinner and a Game, where we play TTRPGs and try and entertain you while we definitely entertain ourselves. Because frankly, we're as easily entertained. But that's the best part about it. If we're funny, you're funny, right? No, that's not it. Tonight we're going to be playing Cyberpunk Red, and it is going to be a learning experience for all of us. So we do ask anyone in the audience who has played the game before to please be patient with us. Try not to throw out any helpful suggestions in chat, because 90% of the time, if I'm panicking looking for a rule, I'm not looking at chat anymore. But we're going to do our best to get through this tonight, and we're going to also, while we do this, we're going to be raising funds for PCRF. If you guys don't know what PCRF is, it is the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, and it is a charity that is trying to help out as much as it can in the horrible situations that are going on in a certain place that we really can't even say, because every single social media is suppressing information about it. But PCRF is a wonderful charity. They're doing wonderful work. They're fully vetted. They work with the UN. They've run charity organizations in multiple locations in that region, and we are fully invested in making sure they get as much help as possible. We have set a fundraising goal of $1,000. We are only at $200 so far, but it's there, and we're going to keep on going until we hit that 1K mark. So if you guys can help, please do. If you do choose to help with PCRF, know that your contributions can actually affect the game. We have commands built in. I'm going to post them up in chat in just a second. But if you give certain donations, like if you give $1, you can use our lend a hand function, which is giving someone +1 to a roll. If you donate $3, you can use save that one in particular, which gives one person the effects of the bless spell. That will work in Cyberpunk Red, but not as well as it would in other games. Because Cyberpunk Red has target numbers that sometimes go into the 100. So +4 may or may not make a massive difference. We might do some modifications for it. But you can use basically all the bonuses that we have with our bits and with our dagger dollars as donation amounts in the PCRF donation funds. What you have to do there is a comment section in the donation for PCRF. When you make your donation, put what you're going to want to use and who you want to use it for. And you can do, like, if you donate $50, you give one person Devastator, or you could set up 50 +1s to be used throughout the stream. It's all up to you. You tell us how you want to divide it up. We will accept any donation amount because no donation is too small. Well, now we're going to go ahead and start jumping into things, but let's say hi to everyone we have who has joined us for this game tonight. First off, we will start out. Let's start out with the two new additions that I think this is both of their first time playing. We will start out with Hi Thrall. Hi Thrall, how are you doing? Oops, I'm in the wrong chat. So, how are you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Pretty good. I am hoping that you are hyped up and ready to play an edge runner to all their bravado.
Well, I'm playing a fun little character, which thank you for helping me. I am one of the brand new babies to this game, so I am looking forward to all the help and guidance on how to make this as chaotic and painting the town red as possible.
And that's the purpose. So, we're going to, like I said, and I think I said this in the TikTok I made, we're going to be learning as we go. And also that means that if you find that you care, because you're playing a solo, I do believe, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And if you find that your solo is not built to what you wanted them to be able to do, we will make adjustments on the fly to the character, even in the middle of combat, because this is a situation where, we want you to feel like you're making the proper impact that you wanted the character to make in the game. And since everyone's new, people might not have gotten exactly what they wanted, or it might not work out exactly the way they planned. So we're going to go ahead and make those adjustments on the fly. Once again, audience, if you guys are experienced with Cyberpunk and you make suggestions, if you want to make suggestions, I can't stop you. And I'm not going to ban anyone from chat from talking. But remember, everyone here has made their own characters, and they have ideas and concepts they want to achieve with those characters. So even if you guys know the more efficient route to take, or what you consider the more optimized builds, that's fine. We really, really, really do thank you for that, but we're going to go ahead and stick with whatever we want to do, and we're going to stick with the way we want our characters to be built. But just know we appreciate it, but if it gets ignored, don't get upset. And that's because, there's a lot of gamers out there, and some of them really like mechanics, and there's no wrong way to game. So that's perfectly fine, but that's not this game particularly. What is your solo's name? Sorry.
Let me make sure I get it right. You're good. Christ.
Dun, dun, dun. Excellent. And the other new face that we have is Vixie Bell. Vixie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. And you are another newcomer to the Dinner and a Game, I want to say franchise, but yeah. No.
Table?
Table, yeah. But my wife just yelled polycule from the bedroom. No! I can't keep up with you. Leave me alone. So the big thing is that Dinner and a Game is pretty much a game, a community built around the concepts of, in Dinner and a Game, real life comes first. And we actually moved this game back multiple times because people had multiple issues. And I understand you spent the week fighting through to make sure you can make it to this game.
Yes, I was gonna do this. So I was ready to do it on my phone because everything that could have happened. My laptop died. The shop, it's still at the shop somewhere, lost in the ether. They don't know what it is. It could be several things. I'm on a backup laptop that's just an old Asus that's been duct taped together with like an old SD card that's substituting as RAM. Like you have no idea how I had to learn a lot of random hardware stuff on the fly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw.
Here.
You were sending me DMs just trying to keep me updated with it, and I was like,
yes.
You don't. It's okay. We'll make arrangements. It's all right. And you're like, no.
I don't understand. I need to play this game. I know everyone else wants to play this game.
Yeah, I know. You fought through, and thank you for being here. Who are you playing tonight?
I am playing Bowie, not the rock star, the knife. And they are, because I looked at this game and I want to let everyone know it is my first time ever playing Cyberpunk Red. And the first thing that my little brain does whenever I look at a new game is that it goes, what is the most complicated thing that I can play in this game? Netrunner. So I'm going to be doing some net running it's probably gonna go like you would expect for someone who's never played this game before. So don't at me, bro. Thank you.
That's kind of why I was doing all that. It's like, don't at us. We're all gonna stumble through this, and nothing's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be the way you probably think it should. But we're gonna have fun. So hopefully you can have fun watching. So now we're gonna get into the folks who have been around and suffered through my trauma giving, that is. So let's go ahead and go to the incredible Bishy Bunny. Bishy, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm alive at least.
Excellent. That's good. That's a good status to have. Being
Yeah.
alive is really necessary to play games.
You know what? I'm actually here with at least half a body's worth of blood.
That's
bad.
amazing. Because
Is it
last time
yours?
you were... Oh, whoa.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say one way or the other on that. I'm just saying,
Well, in that case, did you keep the receipts?
well, I kept the person. Anyway,
Kept the person.
yes, I am here. I am playing a solo in this. I am playing Anna Anaconda. For those of you who are familiar with Cyberpunk, you are going to see a very odd solo as she doesn't know how to use a gun. She is, however, 7 foot tall of Amazonian Yaru, so I think she'll be fine.
Yeah. Basically, you built them to literally be walking terrain.
But she's a martial artist and a wrestling fiend.
Yeah.
So
Okay, terrain that breaks people.
there's going to be a whole lot of squish me kind of situations and thigh crushes. So enjoy.
Gotcha. It's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be the WWE, but with like actual bone breaking.
The fan art is going to be just amazing and also not safe for work.
Well, there you go. And that's a great segue. Dinner in a Game is a adult stream. If you're not 18, you're 12, please leave. We will be dealing, and especially with Cyberpunk Red, we will be dealing with some very extreme situations, probably lots of violence, and some darker themes, because we're playing in Nightcity, and Nightcity is a very harsh place. Think of kind of an amalgamation of New York and Detroit for background. But Nightcity is very, very rough, and life is very cheap there, and everyone is trying just to survive long enough to see tomorrow. And that includes edge runners. It's hard to make a living in any way, shape, or form, but Nightcity is one of those situations where life is hard in so many ways it's not even funny. So, sorry, brought it down a little. I apologize. But what we're going to be doing next is we're going to say hi to Cove. And Cove is now becoming a Dinner and a Game vet, as it were. This is your third stream you're on with us?
Technically fourth.
Fourth, because you're in Emerald Sanctums, you were in Small Town Life, and then now you're in this. What was the other
I had the one shot.
Oh, you had the one shot. Yo, you ran.
Oh,
that one.
Technically 5. I ran the one shot and then I was part of a different one shot.
That's
Ooh.
right. That's right. So you're a vet. You're a vet. You've been around. You've been around the block. You've seen some shit, yo.
Yeah.
You got the 1,000-yard stare.
I give it as good as I get.
And who are you going to be playing tonight?
Tonight I get to play almost the antithesis to Bishy's character. I get to play Jester, who is a rocker boy. And unlike the large Amazonian mommy that is Anna Anaconda, who we adore, Jester is following my usual theme of being short as hell, lanky and creepy as shit. Every single part of this person is covered. You can kind of see their eyes, but they're cyber, so they don't count.
Excellent. So tonight, of course, I'm going to be your MC tonight, your game master, and basically every single NPC that you're going to meet. And what we're going to be doing this evening is we're going to be kind of jumping right into it. Normally I'd be blowing out for product and placement and everything like that, because Dinner in a Game is a business and we are trying to make enough money to start paying content creators. And so with that, we are going to be pushing that stuff. But there is a spin through right above my head that you can see that lists our shirts and our other merchandise. And if you guys want to support us in any way, you can sub on any one of our socials. You can just clicking like is more than enough for me, because that just helps the algorithm everywhere. So if you guys want to help us out, please do. If you can't, we understand. Do what you can, when you can, where you can, how you can is another big motto of Dinner in a Game. And so we accept everything, including goodwill. So we love you all very much. We once again remind you this is an adult themed game, and we are going to get into Night City. So Night City is a fictional city. It is on the west coast of the United States. And for those of you who know about what cyberpunk is pretty much a post-collapse Earth, where most governments have failed, and there has been a number of catastrophes that have led to this. And now there is a situation where the corporations stepped in when the governments failed, and the corporations have pretty much taken over all the major operations of the world. There are still governments, but they're mostly puppets to the corporations. Because the corporations do things like, well, all the arms manufacturers are corporations. So if any government wants to get any type of weapons to protect itself, they have to go through the corpos. And the corpos control everything, right down to everyday life. Like for the poorest of the poor who can't afford to like eat out or, buy good food at the grocery store, they end up eating something called kibble. You know that stuff you give your dog, that dry dog food? That's what they eat. It's basically just the basics, enough protein and enough carbs to keep them alive so they can continue to exist. It's cheap, and hopefully it doesn't make you sick. And housing is another thing. There is, I'm sure some of you have heard about it, but in Japan they have something called casket apartments. And these apartments are like 200-300 square feet. And they have stuff like beds that fold up into the walls, and then they can flip up upside down and become your table or desk. And stuff like, and a small kitchenette and a bathroom that's the really only door in the place. That is like standard living in Night City for those who are not well off. And then you have people, the middle class, which is actually fairly small. They're the working middle class. They provide a lot of the support that has to be done by human labor still. And there's not a lot of manual labor jobs. Stuff like, construction, everything like that, it's all done by robots. So there's not a lot of manual labor jobs anymore. There's a lot of people who are just literally out there doing delivery jobs, anything they can do to get a few eddies to keep themselves alive. But also in Night City, there are incredibly wealthy areas where there are houses that are basically mansions that have automated defense systems, and there are corporations that literally run what are called arcologies, which are huge buildings that take up several city blocks, and they are the home to these mega corporations. And a lot of corporations, like the Arasaka Company, have their headquarters in Night City. It is very much a dystopian future, and it's very much a situation of who you know can be as important as what you know. So, that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a breakdown of each one of your characters. I would like you to give me a brief description of them. And every one of you is going to start in one location. So when you get done describing your character, we're going to take a pause and go to the next person. But you're all going to be starting in a place called a Dabar, Dabarr. And it is it's a local dive. You've all frequented it before. You know each other relatively by reputation, because one of the biggest things you have on the streets is your rep. It's the way you get work. It's the way you make sure people know that you're good to work with. And you basically all know each other by reputation. So let's go ahead and, since we started with the new folks, we'll let them go last. Let's go ahead and go start out with, you know what? Veterans got to pay the toll. So, Cove, describe what your character looks like standard walk-a-day attire.
I would love to. So, Jester follows very on brand with his name. Jester is covered head to toe in clothes. If you take kind of Fizzaroli from Hell of a Boss, make his outfit a bit more skin tight and make it pastel goth, that's kind of the vibe you get from Jester's outfit. He does have a mask that goes across their face. It's sort of almost owl looking, but with a smile to it, and having those traditionally Jester-esque features as pictured. And wearing gloves, wearing shoes. It's all relatively skin tight, so you can get an idea of the slender to lean physique that they have, but that's about it. Oh, I can't forget my two favorite parts of this. The hat, which is the Jester hat that has only the two bits coming off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And has little kind of bell-like things at the end, except they don't jingle. None of them actually jingles. And then the last bit is the tail that he has. It's not attached to him. It's not cyberware. It's attached to the outfit, though it is robotic, and it can move and pose on its own. And so that's just it.
That's Jester. And from Jester, we will move over to Bishi and Anna.
Anna, I mean, the very first thing that you're going to notice about her is that she's very large. She's 7 foot tall. The second thing you might like, if you're familiar at all with the subculture of the Gyaru, she has that kind of aesthetic about her. She's very tan. She's very heavily makeup. She's makeup to the point where it's like one more little drop and it would be tacky, but she's just right there on the end of fashionista. She's painted up and just ready to go. Her hair is a shimmering iridescent platinum that sort of works almost like a mirror shade. Same with her bottom lip, the lipstick on the bottom. Everything else is some form of electric blue or pink as far as most of her makeup style goes. She has snake eyes currently. These are cybernetics that she can turn on and off, but usually she keeps them on. She's very sort of, she's fashion forward in that point where any little push beyond what she's wearing and you'd wonder if it was a costume, but she's right on that line. She's showing off a lot of skin, and being 7 foot tall, she's got a lot of skin to show. She's got a lot of curves, got a lot of muscle too. So she's got a lot of both. You know, there's some softness there, but you also know there's steel under that as well. Her main outfit accoutrement, though, is this massive long jacket that has faux fur, because there's never been a leopard with a pink leopard, other than the Pink Panther, perhaps. That is the fringe of it, and then the actual jacket of it is snake scale, currently crimson. I just
love that, because there's never been a pink leopard.
Where's that music coming from?
Oh, it's coming from the actual VTT.
Okay, it's a little loud on my end.
There's a volume control in it. I'll stop it for now.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I'll check
right.
that later. And beyond, it's okay. beyond that, she's wearing the nylon. She's wearing a striped skirt and sort of a loose top and way too much. Quite frankly, a almost garish amount of jewelry that somehow or another, because of who she is and the way she's wearing it, she makes it look good.
Wonderful. Kind of a step on me, mommy type of thing.
Yes, though you have to. It's the step on me, mommy, but it's also the step on me, mommy, and that Resident Evil Village Lady D kind of way. Where you'd like her to step on you, but if you actually thought about it, you're pretty sure she would crush you.
Gotcha.
And not in the fun way.
Excellent. Vixie.
Ooh, yes, of course this happens right when my laptop is having a moment.
Yeah,
so
sorry. We can hear you though.
Yeah, okay, great. As long as you can hear me, I'm sure my laptop will catch up. There it is. Okay, so Bowie is dressed in a style that is called bag lady chic. She wears a big bright yellow jacket with a sigil on the back. It's been carefully kind of embroidered in. You could tell it's custom, like a custom thing on the back of it. And underneath, she pretty much wears black, like kind of sports bra and a black bike shorts that have silver stripes going across them. For the most part, she is very, aside from the black that she's wearing, she's also very brightly colored. Her hair is half shaved and in kind of a faux hawk situation kind of happening. Her current hair color is cyan and orange. And her favorite piece that she loves to wear as part of her outfit are these heart-shaped goggles or heart-shaped glasses that also double as her virtual goggles. That are in a bright pink tinted color. And yeah, that's a little, and her sneakers are also the same color as her hair with light yellow soles. So, because she wears like these little high top sneakers that you don't think could be running until you see her actually run. Just saying.
In other words, she's had to run before, knows that they work.
Yes. Practical footwear for practical lifestyle.
There you go. All right, and finally, hi Thrall.
Privyet. Kind of what you see. We're going to call it tactical chic, where she likes to be self-expressive with pops of color, but honestly, the straps, the harnesses, they're really good at holding various different weapons for the job that she needs to get done. And her job, it's not very nice, but she's good at it. Her hair color changes with her mood, not literally. It's whatever she wants to do, she will change it. Right now, what you see is what you get. She has a lot of scars dancing across her body, as she has done a lot in the field, and now has discovered that it's a lot easier to get the job done from the top of the building. If you haven't figured out what her job is, you will soon enough. Very practical when it comes to, since we mentioned shoe wear, boots. She likes her tactical boots. She likes to blend in. She doesn't show off any of her modifications if she can help it. It's just a part of what she does, and it's a necessity. It's an end to a mean. So she's about 5'6", probably should give a height there. Athletic build, because she's very, very active. So
excellent. So each one of you, like I said, has been to this bar before. Some of you in your backgrounds have actually worked together. Some of you have not. But like I said, this is a common hangout. It's probably close enough to everyone's, at least one of their crash spots, that it's kind of going to become a commonality between all of you. Now, the big thing the reason that you're all here this evening at the exact same time is a fixer that you all share. Their name is Basket. They contacted each of you and let you know that they have work that they need done. And that normally Basket's the source for some very low-end work, like stealing ATMs, stuff like that. Stuff that's not high risk. but it's also not high pay. But it's usually quick, easy done, and Basket always pays, which is one of the big reasons that people take jobs from Basket. And Basket's known to not screw anyone else over. So, he's trustworthy, but he's never been a big time player. This time, he is absolutely ecstatic when he calls you. He says that he has a job that's finally going to get him into the big leagues, and he's worked with you guys enough. He knows you guys. He knows each one of you individually, and he knows he can trust you to be professionals and get this done, because that's what he needs for this job. He needs professionals. He told you to meet. He told you all to meet him at the bar, and to have your listening ears on, because he really should only say all this information once, and he's definitely not saying it over any type of comm. So you guys showed up because, as I said, Basket's a source of ready work, and everyone needs eddies. There's just, you're not going to have a situation where money does not count. So you get there, and Basket, number one, Basket brings you all to one table. Basket is about 5'6"-ish. They move very, very quickly. They seem to be very, very nervous. They talk fairly quickly, and they're always doing their best to make eye contact with everyone they're speaking to, which, when there's a large conversation going on, Basket looks like their head is like just on a ball bearing, because they're always trying to make contact with everyone who's speaking, so their head's constantly spinning around. But Basket is known to be incredibly organized and detail-oriented, even though he's small time, and they're very, very young. I don't remember we talked about everyone's ages, but their Basket is very, very young, but has done a lot of work. The rumor is Basket has been finding jobs since they were like 12. So Basket is one of those people who's just a known commodity in the streets, but like I said, has never gone big. So as they get you up, they get you to the table. They go, all right, I'm gonna go get drinks. I'm gonna go get drinks, and then we're gonna talk, because we need to talk, because this is serious. Okay. All right, I'll be back. And Basket runs off. So you're kind of all sitting there alone while Basket runs up and is, talking about 5 million miles an hour to the bartender. So all of you, like I said, have seen each other. Vixie, you kind of, sorry, not Vixie, but your Bowie kind of like actually really kind of advertises themselves a lot, right?
Oh yeah, Bowie is all bright colors and all like, look at me, chum, look at me, choom. I'm here. Yep. The fun has arrived.
And Bowie is very much, wears her net runner like a badge on their shoulder type situation.
I don't think she advertises necessarily she's a net runner. She kind of is bright and loud, but in more of a fashion sense. Like her virtual goggles are like disguised as her like sunglasses, pretty much. These like these highly stylized sunglasses, because but she's still very bright and loud, fashion wise. Gotcha. So it's kind of hard to. I would say that like on first look, it's kind of hard to tell what she does, because because she's kind of like just assume I'm some loud, bright colored person that can't do anything at all. That's fine,
No problem. And Anna, it's pretty obvious that you're heavily augmented. I mean, people don't get to 7 feet tall.
Right. Yes.
Not with that not with the muscle and frame size that you have, and not have to walk around on canes, unfortunately. So you're obviously very augmented, and you're obviously a solo of some kind. And did you say that your character did stints in professional wrestling?
Yes. She was a part of a group that she had, because of an incident, she had to leave. But yeah, she did. She might have a rep, whether or not, somebody's like a fan of that sort of thing.
Yeah, gotcha. So Anna is kind of much more. It's very obvious what Anna is, and plus Anna's reputation is as a serious solo who does a lot of missions that require heavy lifting. And Anna, of course, you've done several jobs for Basket, because you can literally rip an ATM out of its mooring. So there's no need to steal a vehicle and put a chain on the ATM and rip it out. Anna just walks up and rips it out of the ground.
Walks away with it under an arm, like
Yeah, pretty much.
If you're good with it, Anna is currently she's grabbed 2 chairs to sit on. One chair really doesn't quite work for her, and she's also got like a little plate of something greasy and probably somewhat indescribable, just the way food is in this time period. That was paid for by someone at the bar that she gave a little wink to with her persuasion, and
Gotcha.
and
That's
her,
fine.
yeah, it's not hard for her to get drinks. Basically, let's just say.
I know Heifel Christ is very. You said they're very subdued. They're very quiet, right?
Bitchy.
Bitchy. Oh, got it. No, never mind. So you
Rash.
Gotcha. So instead of having 1,000-yard stare, you have the resting bitch face.
I'm gonna look right at you. Yeah, you're gonna know.
great.
So you're sitting here in judgment of everyone else.
Oh God, yes. It's very.
So, but you are. Your thing is you're known to provide cover. You're known to you
Sure.
known for other things, but those things are usually fairly high dollar, and they're not things that, if on an edge runner situation, not as much of what you want to directly advertise, because usually that's a one-on-one job.
In a team situation, it's a good pair of eyes. She's not bad at listening to things, and she knows how to move. And like you said, provide cover while moving. So
So you're usually like on the security end of any job. You're the one who's covering everyone's asses and making sure everyone gets out alive.
Yep.
Excellent. And Jester, you are pretty much, you're the person who's always left in charge of providing distractions or making the noise that needs to be made when it needs to be made. That's kind of your MO. I mean, is there anything else you would say that Jester is incredibly good at?
Theft. If you need something stolen, that's Jester's one of your people. If you need a distraction, Jester's one of your people. If you need someone to get into some place that no one really should get into, Jester's also your person for that.
Gotcha. So Jester's a B&E specialist for most part.
Yeah.
So all of you looking at each other on the table, you can judge fairly well that this is going to be a job that is going to require at least some muscle and firepower, something of a net presence, and someone who knows how to get in places that you shouldn't be. So this is not the type of job that Basket normally employs, because Basket, like I said, Basket does very simple, very low profile jobs. So already this is kind of like a situation of you have no idea what's going on. So Basket comes back with a tray full of beers, and he puts them down and begins sitting beers in front of everybody. He's like, "I hope you like beer."
I think
Do you have any vodka?
just makes one. It's like back on her.
Do you have any vodka?
He's like, I don't. Mickey, round of shots, vodka.
His dribble's fine. Takes beer.
Basket kind of looks at you and he's like, okay. So, all right, guys, listen. And he looks around and he reaches in a pocket and he puts his device on a table and he holds the bottom of it and he clicks it. And does anyone have augmented hearing?
I think I do. Let me check.
Gotcha.
Yes,
have a radio.
Yes. I have amped hearing.
Okay. You have a radio comm?
Yeah, and there might be like a little bit of feedback.
Oh yeah,
But-
no. There's for everyone who has augmented hearing, amped hearing, or anything like that. There is a high pitched whine for a second, and for you, Anna, your radio receiver lets you know that you're out of service. And Basket kind of says, sorry, I know, sorry, I'm sorry. I should have warned you. I'm sorry. He says, look, this is big. All right, guys, I need you to understand that this is big. He's like, I would not have contacted you guys because I know you guys play on a different league than I do a lot of the time. You guys have done jobs for me. I appreciate it. We've always made money together. It's always been good. But I know you by rep. I know you guys are pros. So I need you to help me with this because this could be my way in. This could be my ticket. And if I can pull this off, if I can get this pulled off, number one, you guys are going to make eddies like you ain't never seen. I'm talking pay your rent for at least 6 months and still have eddies left over to live. And I ain't talking no crypt box lifestyle. I'm talking an actual apartment. Maybe even get a fucking dog. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real money. But if there's any job with real money involved, there's real risk. He kind of looks around. He's like, so I stumbled on something. This is the type of shit that only happens by random chance. Okay? It's luck. I get it. I got lucky. But I'm also lucky because I know you guys. And I think that if we're all working together on this, we can pull this off. He's like, I got the connects to get you what you need. I got some financial backing so we can actually look at getting some upgraded gear for this. He says, but I need you to understand that we're talking going up against the big leagues. I found some info on some Arasaka eddies that are just drifting around.
And you just happen to stumble across information. Just by luck.
I'm telling you, I look, I'm not the type of guy who plays in those circles. I'm not the type of guy who this type of stuff falls into their lap. I'm the guy who goes around and gets you to knock off Lee's Chinese on the corner because I know their insurance premiums had just dropped and they got really good insurance rates now and they ain't gonna feel it that bad. That's me. All right? He's like, but this is real. And with this, we can all start gearing up and start getting into the better leagues. You guys, I understand. Leave me in the dust, whatever. But this could set me up for a long time and let me have the space to get more jobs that can get me up there. He's like, but you guys are going to be the ones who are going to really profit off this. All right? The other problem is it's payroll.
Ugh.
Which means it may be free eddies, but it's got a lot of juice on it. So this is the deal. Arasaka got hit by Mitsuplex. I don't know if you've heard of them. The runner. They did a job. They inserted some kind of black door, black ice that went internal on Arasaka and screwed their entire security system. So, for the local payroll, for the divisional offices over on the edge of the war zone, Arasaka is doing a once-in-a-lifetime manual transfer, which means they literally have eddy sticks, max loaded, which is 100,000 eddies each. This is shit on a pallet. I'm talking millions. But, as with anything with Arasaka's fucking stamp on it, for us, it's worthless plastic because there ain't no way we can get into it. The difference is, I got somebody who's willing to buy them. All of them. We're talking hundreds of thousands of eddies for this job. If you get all of them, and I don't expect you to get all of them, because this is a shitload. I mean, Anna, I know that you can, like, lift a truck. But can you sprint with a truck? Because that's what we're looking at. Now, the eddies...
Never tried.
The eddies are already in a safe house. And they're already in place. Distribution is going to happen tomorrow. We need to get this rolling and ramped out tonight. I literally fell on this morning, and I've been trying to figure out if it was even worth my time to try this. I decided that there's no way I cannot.
Who's this buyer?
You don't want to fucking know, man. Let me take that risk. I mean, look, if we don't get the shit, we don't get paid either way, right? If you get the shit, you get paid. If I'm the only go-between, if this motherfucker wants to burn anybody, the only person he's going to burn is me.
Personally, I think that it is incredibly stupid. It is high risk. Sounds fun.
Holy
I
shit,
mean-
she's crazy. It says, all right, one in.
Job's a job, Choom. Let's do it.
It's like, I knew you were crazy. He's like, kind of looks, Jesta, I mean, you already got a rep, so this would be just another big old fucking gold star.
Well, yeah, I had nothing else planned for tonight. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Excellent. All right, Anna, I need you because this is going to be one of those situations where, you know, like I said, the shitty part is that it's a ton of weight. The good part means it's a ton of money. And the more we can carry out of there, I'm looking at each one of you individually, taking as much as you can carry, but Anna makes it the profit.
It's the first time I've ever been hired as a mule.
Well, you're a mule that can punch through fucking walls, Anna.
Well,
Seems
there's
to
that.
suit you.
Well, didn't we get what do you call him, a nomad or something to drive us?
That's the other problem. Arasaka has the eddies, but they're at the top of Tomi Tower on the edge of the war zone. And for you guys, Tomi Tower is a low-rent, high-rise building that is known to be the location and hosted by no less than, and fought over, by no less than 3 street gangs.
This is fine.
The good news is it's such shit show they won't even notice.
He says, the good news is that I got a buddy. Good nomad, real good man. He's willing to fly you to the top.
Well, less fun, I guess, but
And he says that he can get you in and out. It's going to be a combat role type situation, okay? Because we don't know what type of auto defenses Arasaka may have set up at the top of that fucking building, but he says that no auto gun can hit him. So, you guys tell me, you want to try and trek your way up through all that sludge? Or it's 120 stories of that shit.
Work smarter, not harder, if you ask me.
It's like, all right.
a quick question. You said something about gearing up beforehand?
Yeah. So what I got for is I got eddies enough to cover starting gear. All right. We're not talking. We don't have enough time to slap any new chops on you because you don't have time to heal from that shit. But anything external that you think you can pick up that might help out, you know, don't ask me for an autocannon. I can't find that shit. Anything that I could find on short notice.
I can think of a couple of things.
And that goes for everybody. He looks over at you, Bo, and he says, I don't have a shit ton of access to gear that you can find useful, but I'm sure I can find something. Maybe a couple of new pieces of black ice that you could use. Something. He's like, just give me a list as quick as you can. And he says,
all right.
And Jesta, I have no fucking clue what you do. So I don't know what you need, but you just let me know and I'll try and find it.
What's the budget?
Huh? Let's set it relatively at 5,000 eddies apiece.
Oh,
A
okay.
lot of eddies.
I told you I got some funding for this fucking job. That's why I said don't ask who's paying.
All I'm saying is our buyer's pretty generous. That's all.
The buyer expects to make a fuck ton of money, and I think even more important, the buyer wants to fuck over Arasaka. And that should be another warning that you don't want to know who the fuck it is.
Question on my end.
Yes, Jester.
So you're the go-between, which means,
Yeah, I'm a fixer. That's what I do.
granted. So we're not going to know who the buyer is, and the buyer is absolutely not going to know who we are.
Right.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah. The biggest thing about this situation is the buyer is going through me because the buyer wants to be able to and trust me, I know what I'm saying here, but the buyer wants to be able to have an easy way to shit can if things go south, which means that if you guys fuck up this job, I'm probably fucking dead. I got some ways to try and get out of town if this thing goes south, but I am literally putting my life in y'all's hands.
Guess you better not fail then, huh?
You're like,
It sounds like you're putting our lives in a bunch of people we don't know either. So
well, I got it. I understand that, but I'm saying I might not be walking into the valley of death with you. He's like, but I'm just as up to here as you are in this. If you choose to take it,
don't worry. Us and your buyer will have something in common if this job goes wrong. We will both fuck you up.
Or be dead, don't forget. That's also a thing.
One of us will walk out, I'm sure.
I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Your reputation says that you're a cold hard badass.
I was talking about Anna. She's gonna get shot and just walk away. I could use for shield.
He says, "Well, I'll leave you guys to discuss."
Anna actually like offers Chris one of her little fried things.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's like Asian fried noodles covered in ketchup.
Take it. Just eat it and continue glaring at the guy.
He says, all right, number one, I want to make sure that the Nomad is on and good if you guys want to go with him. So you guys let me know, but I still need to check in with him. So I'm going to step away for a second to make a call. You are the operation. You guys probably know each other. Some of you have worked with each other. I want to give you time to talk this out amongst yourselves because I don't want nothing coming back saying that I snowballed anyone or strong-armed anyone into this. You guys discuss this and see if you think you each can bring something that is going to make this work. I think you all do. But I'm just a fixer. So I'll see y'all guys in a bit. And he steps away and walks out. He walks over to the end of the bar and he sits down at the bar. And you can see he just like, he gets that faraway look that everyone gets when they're on a comm.
You know, he's too young to have that kind of stress.
He's like 18. He's like,
Losing hair and stuff.
I mean, like if he makes it to 23, it'll be a miracle.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's Nightcity for you. She looks over at Jester and goes, hey, Choom, no hard feelings, right?
Oh, none at all. Absolutely not.
Well, that's great. Hate to die while we're on this trip because of friendly fire, you know?
I would never kill you. I would
that's
never
right.
kill anyone.
That's very comforting.
Good. Good.
You know, when you say it like that, it stops being so comforting, though.
Good.
Don't worry about friendly fire. I don't engage in anything that isn't more personal.
Like, slowly looks up at Anna because she's so tall.
Only if I get paid. So-
Good to know.
You two have some kind of history, guessing.
Oh, I outran him once. Ran them once. Yeah.
Once.
That's it.
Oh, well, I also messed with their music, too. Because it could have been better.
It's okay to be objectively wrong.
Not going to be problem, is it?
No,
I don't see why.
I'm not invested in them.
Oh, thanks.
You're
Again,
welcome.
that weird, like, little comforting thing, but not really.
That's what I strive for. I'm so glad it comes across properly. Sometimes I worry.
Just look up at Anna.
She just shrugs. I mean, this isn't like anything that she actually she's kind of like her fingers are sort of steepled and she's licking some of the ketchup off and thinking, okay, I need some infrared glasses
Bowie, right?
for that. And,
That's me, yeah.
I don't know you. I know you. Point at Jester. Don't know you.
Not a lot of people do. I like it that way, actually. Considering you, which is weird considering, never mind. But
Good chance to expand. What?
oh, sorry. You wanted me to talk more. I didn't pick up on that because the stare, just kind of judging me for not knowing me. You know.
Do I look like Mind Raider?
that's her normal look. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, got it. So, no, you don't strike me as being a mind reader because those don't exist. Or at least if they did, they'd be a net runner, wouldn't they? Because you're hacking
Tell
people's
me about
brains.
yourself.
Sorry, I'm rambling. Yeah. So I'm Bowie. Nice to meet you. Extends hand.
Take it and shake.
Shake. So yeah, I'm just a net runner. I like surfing the web. Well, I also like running, literally and figuratively, if you will. And she just grins at you like, this is an explanation, right?
I think it is good skill to have.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the only way that I can get myself out of situations when I'm not being covered by, protection. And she kind of gestures at you and Anna.
Just grin. It's nice to be needed. Jester, it's weird not seeing you on stage.
You know, can't live my life there, unfortunately.
Well,
But
this was fun.
I am curious,
Oh boy.
about a lot. But in this particular instance, I've seen you around. I've actually seen both of you around, pointing to both Anna and Christ. Are you fans? Is that what you're doing?
Sure, big fan. Absolutely love that you do.
Yeah. You seem exactly the type.
Yep.
Sure, there's no ulterior motives there. Anna! What about you?
She looks up from her agent. Yes?
I've seen you at shows. I've seen
Yes.
you very distracted at shows, actually.
Yes. Yeah. Training. Montage. You know how that goes.
Definitely. What sort of training?
I have been informed that sometimes people don't make it out of your shows, and I kind of decided I'd see if I could stop some of that.
How noble of you. Have you succeeded?
Perhaps. I don't know.
Good for you.
Yeah. You can't tell until you know the body count later.
That's true.
Terrible, terrible thing. People dying in street like that. Just horrible.
I know, it's just terrible. Can't imagine it happening. Honestly, it breaks me up inside that it happens at my shows of all things.
I would say this.
That's bad luck, I guess. Why would they
Always
be in a
the-
place where they get killed?
Always
Kind
the
of
best
not
people,
smart.
right?
There you go. Yeah.
So
It's
about
been a physical altercation while I've been there, though, I've noticed. For some reason or another, people seem to be on their best behavior. Can't imagine why.
Basket comes walking back up.
Hey, you're back. Good.
You're talking about murder.
With the what?
Well, potential murder.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you have to. I'm not saying don't, but I'm just saying, the less hate we get, the better. This is might get dirty, it might not get dirty, but I'm gonna leave that to you. You're the professionals.
I lean over to Jester. It's only murder if it's not paid for.
I'm pretty sure it's still murder. It's just
It's
murder that you've now paid
It's
for.
assassination. There are context.
Doesn't the definition of assassination involve the word murder?
Kill it. It
Kill
involves killing.
Oh, okay.
You were saying, Biscuit.
Semantics.
No, yeah, no. I was saying that. No. My buddy is in. He's in. He says he's gonna need about an hour and a half to get everything prepped and flight ready. He says he's got to check some system he's got. So I don't know. He's the guy who does the flying. I don't know nothing. This is about flying. So what I do know is that only gives us like an hour and a half. What do you guys want to do before you do this job? And that's an hour and a half before he's ready. He'll fly whenever you want him to.
Well, we still got to give you lists, right?
Yeah.
Is this our already shopping session already in this game? Really?
This
Shopping
economy?
episode 1.
We're just getting like all of it.
I told you, it's a full experience. But yeah, the big thing you got to remember is that any gear you're going to get out of this is only gear that does not need to be, is not cybernetic. It's going to be gear that you can wear on the outside. Like I heard Bishi talking about getting like cybernet infrared goggles. So that's something that's definitely workable. Everything else is like not really going to be doable because it requires surgery.
Mhm.
Hang on a second. My
Hmm.
Adobe locked up, so I can't.
Oh no, not Adobe.
Not Adobe. Adobe
That's
messing up?
rude.
No one's ever heard of that before. Let me go to my table of contents and find this.
You-
What's that?
You said 5,000 eddies each.
He said set the budget at 5,000 eddies.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay.
doesn't-
Well,
Yeah,
because
so
he doesn't know who's gonna need more or what.
So that's our, but
okay,
that's
so
5K each.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
I don't. Is it 5K each or is it 5K
No,
split?
it's 5K split.
Okay,
Oh, 5K
I heard
split.
5K
Okay,
each the
all right.
first time.
Yeah, that's
That makes way more sense though, it being split.
Yeah, we were all
also
like, wow,
Basket case,
5K.
though.
Yeah,
No.
you're all like, holy shit, we're just gonna
We'll
not
just-
do the job and take the 5K.
We'll just take the gear money, shoot him, and go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot him and go.
Oh, I'd actually feel bad. He's just a kid who's balding at an early age.
Oh, you can feel bad for me. I will say this character is so outside of my comfort zone. It's weird.
Is it one of those
Fine.
characters that's gonna make you feel bad afterwards?
No, I love this character. This character's great.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
This is from Anna, actually. How many of you have some sort of grapple set up?
That's
We're gonna be on
something
top
I was
of-
going to ask for.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
look at my stuff because I don't think I have any grapple stuff.
In theory, alone, not that I've done it before, I could scale buildings if I had to without any equipment. But having actual equipment to do so might be nice.
Well, what I'm saying specifically, if anyone were to say get knocked off a very, very tall building, as we might be, or uh, one of those situations, or maybe the nomad can't get all the way to the building and we have to get up there, that would be very, very useful. And saying it in a very okay, Anna says this properly, but I'm going to say it in a very metagame way. If you have a grapple gun on you and if you get knocked off of a high ledge, it's pretty much free real estate when it comes to not falling to your death. So if you don't have one, I strongly suggest getting one.
And it can't be used as a weapon.
It can't be used as a weapon, and it's only 100, so it's cheap.
So for this shopping section, are we going to go through person by person and see who wants what?
Actually, just say if you guys have something you already know you need, just let me know what it is and the costs, and I will go ahead and put this down in a list, and then I'll keep running total.
We could also wait until after we've had a break so we can have the break to look through it, not having stream time looking through items.
Yeah,
that sounds like a better plan, actually.
So one of the things that is while he's sitting there talking to you, says so everything about this job is based around the in and out. All right, getting in, getting the stuff, and getting back because it's physical chips. All right, it says. That being said, you got to ride in. But once he gets you in, he says everything's going to be tripped. And there's no way to get you back out. So, from the top. He says, so you guys might want to consider using the money I'm giving you to try and find some way to help you exit the building. Maybe not through the front entrance.
Do you know what their security is like?
The building itself is jacking shit because it's like literally floors of warfare.
Okay.
But at the top, Arasaka apparently, for the purposes of whatever they have, has a suite, an entire floor, just below the top floor, that they have cordoned off and that is theirs. Like, the gangs don't even go up there. Okay? And they have a roof helispot on top of that. He says, and the gangs don't go onto the roof. The gangs don't use the roof. And frankly, I'm pretty sure that any gang member who goes up probably even gets a few floors close is basically evaporated. Because Arasaka security is definitely holding that building. It's not abandoned. It's not empty. There is going to be a security team up there.
Just wondering if we can bypass the some of the cyber security, if you will.
He says, one of the things that I do know is that the HVAC is the standard HVAC that was in the building, but with some, I guess you'd say, security enhancements provided by the Arasaka Security Corporation. Which means that it's probably got a laser grid that's going to keep you from being able to move in it well. He's like, but all this shit is going to be dependent on them being able to monitor and use it. He's like, which is kind of why I saw Jester and you, Bowie, as a good combo, because Jester knows how to get in and out of shit, and you know how to fuck up shit.
It's a talent.
So if you two want to, put your heads together on some possibilities of what you could do to get around this shit, that's great. He says, because I know that you guys are going to need some of this information. He says, the things that I have for you are this. The power supply for that floor is not tied to the building. It says, there is a large grid solar array that is deployed on the west and the north and the east sides of the building. He says, so they have their own battery cells that power the floor, and during the day the solar array powers the floor. He says, so they're not tied to the building grid, so cutting power off to the building ain't gonna do shit for you but except cause chaos in the building itself. If that's something you're gonna do, then that's an option, another option you can think about. He says, but that floor is not going to get affected by it. He says the other thing you need to know is that it is closed loop security, which means that it doesn't tie outside the building. So to be able to affect what's inside that on that floor, it says you're going to have to get to that floor and find yourself a way to get into the system. He says there are no array ports for anyone to jack in on the roof. He says so you're going to have to get into the building.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Anna does. How important is it that they don't know that we did this specifically?
That's up to you. If you want to go and announcing yourself to Arasaka and saying that you fucking are robbing them.
That's my thing. So, first of all, I was thinking perhaps a little bit of a fashion change. Second of all, since we don't have an exit strategy with the Nomad, apparently, to get off the building, maybe the best thing we can do is hit and then run in through the building, because then it's not a group of solos and professionals hitting them. It's a gang that decided to take advantage of the situation. So now Arasaka has to figure out which of the gangs might have been involved, and it kind of throws them off of our trail. And then we
If
just
we're not evaporated on site.
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. I'm much more willing to take it to the gang than I am to take it to Arasaka. Because
talking
the
about
gang,
fighting the gangs or trying to employ the gangs somehow?
I'm talking about just running through, and then if we encounter the gangs, we'll deal with that. But if not, regardless, that the gangs themselves end up covering our trail.
Like I said, I wish I could give you more tactical advice, but this is y'all's forte. I don't know. It's like the only thing I know for sure is about the building itself. Like I said, no fucking security, except that, the first 5 floors belong to one gang. The next 10 floors belong to another gang. The next 20 floors belong to another gang. It's like they all do their own shit. They have their own hierarchies. He says the only thing that they ever don't fight about is the elevators and the central stair.
Can
So
you?
I'll
Sorry.
fix the floor. I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to stick a schematic for the building on my list. You could just give me one of those. That'd be great.
He says, I've got that. Yeah.
I'll
Great.
fix the floor.
Say that again.
I'll fix the floor.
I mean, standard. It's an older building, but it's standard construction. I'm assuming it's the same basic setup, with all the plascrete and everything like that. So it's probably about 3-4 feet. They got to get all the plumbing and wiring in there. My dad was a contractor, so. Huh?
I used to live in buildings like this. I can break my way through if we need to. So if we don't want to actually go through the gangs themselves, we can make our own exits through the floors.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a thought. But, I mean, that's not anything anyone's going to really expect is blasting your way down through every single fucking floor.
Well, I mean, it's not really blasting, but yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying. It might not be explosives to you, but when we watch, it's explosives to us, all right?
So,
Hmm.
and this is just me spitballing here. What if we didn't go through the gangs at all? And I don't mean flying in with the Nomad necessarily. The gangs might not agree on a lot. But what a lot of folks can agree on in general is fuck the corpos.
Yeah.
Because corpo rats deserve to die in most cases.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they've tried to assault this thing before.
Exactly.
Let them just finish what you say. I'm interested.
Thank you. What I'm proposing is maybe they've tried to work together before. Maybe that's not even a possibility. Maybe it is. If we can't get them to work together, if we can't get them to ally for a grander cause of saying fuck you to corpo rats, what if we could make it a competition for them? A matter of pride, a matter of reputation, a matter of ego.
Bragging rights for who throws the most bodies against the machine?
Well, more than that, we can cover our tracks simultaneously.
Well, I
How
think
much
that-
rep would you get as a gang, as a group? How much more power and status would you get if you were part of the one heist that finally breached that top area? That finally, got past it all. That was successful.
He's like, I was just shocked that Arasaka even had anything in that fucking building.
Exactly. It's a mistake. And if we can point out that mistake, and if we can get someone interested enough in the mistake, it wouldn't even be about the Eddies outside of us. But for them, it would be a reputation thing.
I mean, if you have a way to do that, tell me how I can help.
Well, for one, none of us should be doing that. Because if inevitably, not if, when any of those asshats get caught, they're going to be questioned. And if it gets back to us, we're in trouble. Information just happened to fall in your lap. What if information happened to fall in theirs?
That can be arranged.
I'm just as happy to drop all of this off the side of the building, have somebody waiting down there to pick it up and go. Because this kind of thing usually takes a week to plan. And that's if you're being sloppy. We have less than 24 hours. This is rough.
All right. So I get you. So we drop this on them, but who says they're going to jump on it right off the bat? I mean, they are kind of idiots, but at the same time...
We don't give them a choice.
Oh, okay. Why not? I mean, how?
If we're vague about it and we just say, oh, it's here, maybe it'll be there forever. If we're not vague about it, if we give them the time frame, if they understand that it's this or nothing, then that's all they have.
Gotcha.
There is no option for waiting.
So we're playing on the desperation.
Absolutely. There are 3 gangs sharing one tower, and none of them have absolute control because of corpos. Play on that, you have a pretty good team.
He's like, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I get it. And that. So what do you need from me to make that happen? I can leak the info. He's like, but the moment I leak the info, you guys got to be ready to go, because that info is going to spread from that gang and that tower through the rest of the fucking slums in like 10 seconds.
And that is why we need to get our shit together first and figure out layout, security, what each person is going to be doing. What is the surrounding area like? What gangs occupy what buildings in the surrounding area? I need to know who to shoot.
Well, gotcha. He says, I have the layout of the building. He's like, it's a standard tenement rise. He says it's got one single elevator shaft with 4 elevators in the center, with 4 separate emergency stairs going down along the elevator shafts on the sides. Okay, it's a standard slum rise building, which means it has the 4 major supports going up through the center of the plasticrete and steel that hold bear the most of the weight for each floor. The floors have individual suspension rods in between them to distribute the rest of the weight throughout. He's like, on top, at the very top of the roof, there's the HVAC center that pumps all the environmental through the fucking thing. He says there's the water tower on top. He says, and there's a helipad on top that looks like it was an add-on because it sticks halfway off the fucking building. He says, so all that's up there. He says, as for what Arasaka has modified on the floors that they hold, he says, which is, like I said, they hold the top floor, but no gangs go above like 10 floors below it, because they have security patrols that walk those floors. He says, each one of the floors is roughly 8,000 square feet. It says it's divided up to where around each elevator there is 4 main hallways. Each one of the hallways has apartment doors on either side. He says to the outside of the actual towers is like are the bigger apartments. Is like 2-bedroom apartments. He's like on the insides between those apartments, because those apartments on the long edges, on the short edges, there's a bunch of fucking 1-bedrooms and coffin apartments that line that inside. So you basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, and then 8 and 8. So you have 32 units per floor.
So the two things that stood out to me about that is, one, there's a water tower. Interesting, possibly usable.
It's used for pressurizing the water system to the whole building.
Yeah, I mean, but it also stores water, and
Yes.
it could be dumped, perhaps, on individuals. Anyway, the other thing is, are all of the elevators fully functioning?
As far as I know, nothing's. Well, let me see if I can get some more info on that to make sure. He says, but because all the there's not a lot of repair logs on this place. It's like, but as of the last repair log I was actually able to find, he says all 4 elevators are working. As I said, the gangs, because it's the only way to get shit up and down is the elevators or the stairs. They kind of hold the elevators and stairs sacred. No one fucks with them because they will fuck everybody if they do. And the gang on the lowest floors is the weakest gang. So if they fuck with if they get stupid and fuck with shit, they'll just get obliterated by everyone above them. They're literally like a speed bump. You're muted.
You 3 seem to have a pretty good idea of what you want to do. Just tell me what you need from me.
Shoot things instead of me getting shot. That would be helpful.
Handle security, break walls, distract things, steal. I shoot.
Shoot.
He says, well, Chris, another thing I was thinking that maybe if everyone wants to get in through the roof quick, he says, I don't think that Arasaka took those floors and didn't reinforce them. So I don't know whether Anna will be able to punch through the roof to get into the building. She might be able to rip the door off the hinges to get into the staircase, but that's going to be all securityed up. He's like, I was thinking maybe you had some access to knowledge of demo.
Yeah.
He's like, either way, even as a distraction on the top to pull security away to give you a chance to get in, he says demo is probably going to be key to accessing certain areas, and it's going to be pretty key on, like, you know, I'm pretty sure there's a fucking vault in there.
Jester, you feel like learning how to plant explosives?
I'm always learning new things. By all means.
Yes, show and tell day.
Well, I think that everything seems to be on track with us getting some ideas. He says, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I understand what's happening. You are using the Nomad or you're not using the Nomad? As of this right now, you don't know?
I think it would make sense from how I'm understanding it. And everyone, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong or if there are changes you would like to make. As I am understanding it, flying in with the Nomad sounds like our best bet. However, turning the gangs on the corpos will help deal with the lower floors situations and will leave our tracks a little bit more covered. If we don't want to go that route, we can obviously just go through the top, take the risk of being seen. We can go through the bottom, work our way up, blend in a little bit more. We have options.
Says,
So what does everyone actually want to do?
I just forgot something. Sorry, I just got a message. Give me a second. And he jumps up and he pulls out a actual data pad and he's typing on it. And he stops for a second. He's like, all right, I fucking didn't know I was going to be able to get this shit. He's like, don't get super happy about this, okay? He's like, because it's going to cost. But I got another option for you. How many of you ever been hang gliding? Like,
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
I got access to military grade paragliders.
Oh, good. We got to be corpses on kites.
No. They're military grade paragliders. Number one, they fold up to about the size of a backpack. Number 2, they're resistant to small arms. You can still get shot, your body, but the paraglider should be able to take small arms fire. Number 3, they're made out of a material that can make it harder for them to see you at night.
That would be pretty
could-
effective for escape, I think.
It's
Right?
it's called chameleon skin. It just basically can show what's under you instead of showing you. It's not perfect. It gets wiggly sometimes. He says, but for the most part, since you should be moving quietly, he says, that's the easiest way to get out. He says, the only thing is, you can't take the sticks with you that way because they're way, way too much. I don't fucking know if I can put Anna in one.
We throw over a building.
You throwing Anna over the building? Anna,
Yeah.
can you survive that?
Well,
We'll find out.
there are ways I can survive it, in checks and so on that I could do, but the rules for falling from that height, your body
Grappling
don't do
hook.
much. Yeah, the grappling hook is what you
Get
do.
grappling hook.
Yes, I can climb down the side of the building. Absolutely. I was actually thinking the fact that if we can get underneath the floor where the elevator is, we've got a shaft all the way down to the bottom. And then I can definitely rip open a elevator door and we can pour out wherever it is we need to be.
So you're going to scale up the elevator shaft?
And no, this is for the exit for sure.
Oh, go down the elevator shaft. Like maybe do a rappelling gear and go down the shaft type thing?
Yeah.
Well, all you got to do is make sure there's no elevators coming.
I can make sure that the elevators don't work.
It's like, well, that's better. I mean, that works. It's like, all right.
Well, wait, here's my thought.
Mm.
I have one other thing. What if, as opposed to the Nomad dropping us literally on top, what if the Nomad actually dropped us a little lower and we could get in through like a window and be at a lower floor, but not all the way at the bottom?
He says
And
he has a
then-
way of getting to the building without getting found. So if you guys could find a way to get from his vehicle to the windows, I'm assuming that would be cool. I mean,
Final
he's-
party question on my
yeah.
end.
All right. Shoot.
For all of you, we're doing this at night. How many of you can see in the dark?
Oh, I can't see shit. It's fine.
I show the agent that shows on my list, and it's straight up smart glasses, low light, UV, infrared.
Okay.
We will be
Depending.
having. I'll be having this.
I see it in dark through scope.
That's fair. Okay. Good to know where we stand. That is all.
He's like, and night vision shit, dime a dozen nowadays. I can find you any setups you want on that.
Random question,
Yeah.
by the way, Basket. Can you tell me more about the pipes?
He's like,
I'm very curious as to whether or not they're digital or analog.
yeah. So that's the thing. There ain't none.
There are no pipes
Nope. I mean, there's
Hmm.
pipes. There's pipes.
for water. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is you're talking about data pipes. You're talking about
No,
getting-
I'm talking about the physical pipes.
Oh, no, there's
Somebody's got to
pipes.
maintain those, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Burst the
someone
pipes for the
maintains
building.
them, but it's a gang territory. So does anyone really maintain them, or do they just charge them and say they go there?
Okay. So, but yeah, what I was thinking is if we burst the pipes and just flood the building, that solves quite a few problems for us.
You know what? I highly doubt that they can put the place on a separate water line and everything like that. A power they can do, but like water and sewer they can't.
Can you send me a map
Of what?
of the pipes?
I'm getting you the building schematics. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
But I can
Yeah.
tell you that 90% of all the plumbing goes up and down the same central shafts as the elevators and the stairs. That's just common design on most buildings, is that all the piping comes down into the central core, goes down to the central core, and then goes back out to where it needs to go.
What floor does our netrunner need to be able to access?
She probably has to be on that top floor, or I don't know for sure on the floor below it, but I'm assuming there's a security station on the floor below it, so she'd probably use that.
Okay.
But hear me out. If we flood the building and we come in at the top, it's going to take them a while to get to us.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, it's similar to the idea I had with the drop in the water thing.
Water tower?
Yeah, but much easier.
actually,
Work smarter, not harder.
Yes, much easier. Much easier.
All right, so I tell you what. I'm going to go get another round. You guys, if you come up with anything, do it fast. I'll be back. Let's take a 10-minute break.
Ooh,
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a
10%.
10-minute break. Remember, we are still raising funds for PCRF. So if you can donate to PCRF, and those funds will be going to help the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. And you can modify any roles you want to modify using those donations. We will put that up in chat in just a second, but we're going to take a 10-minute break and be right back. We thank you so much for joining us. Sorry about that, folks. It took me a little bit longer to get done than I were meant to. Appreciate everyone waiting around. We're very thankful for that. But we're going to get back to it. So I think you guys have a gear list that you were ready with. And like I said, Basket had stepped away for a moment. By the way, I don't think I ever really gave Basket a good description, did I? So other than being like kind of nervous and everything like that, Basket is literally wearing a low-end corpo outfit. So he's got like pants that were fashionable like 5 years ago, and a nice dress shirt and a really ugly tie. It like has, and he wears it loose, and but the tie has like it's a blue tie with golden ducks on it, and he also has he wears. And he has an affectation that he enjoys very much. He wears a fedora. It's not anything special. It's not a cybernetic enhancement. It's some fucking hat he found that he loves, and he keeps it with him all the time. So he wears a fedora, mainly to cover the fact that he's 18 and going bald. But
Poor kid.
But so you guys are sitting there. You kind of have come up with a list. He comes walking back over. And he says, all right, you guys got a list. Cool? You good? I got something. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna tell you this now.
Oh boy.
It's coming from the guy who's contracting the job. He has more information on what we're looking at. He says, there is the floor that they're on is an Arasaka synth lab, if you know what that is.
Me, the player, does not.
Okay.
But I'm sure Bowie does.
An Arasaka synth lab is literally where they research synthetic drugs that are usually illegal, and they're done for like military research and stuff like that. So there's going to be stuff like stims there, healing items there. It's stuff that they usually sell to the military on the down low, and therefore cannot have it on the books.
Mm-hmm.
He says there is an Arasaka security team there. He says, but they're plain clothes. He says, and it's not on their net, and it's not connected to anything, because if anything bad happens there, what you're looking at is, oh, thank you, Diamond. What you're looking at is you're looking at a situation where they blow the entire floor.
Oh.
He says, so,
Perfect.
well,
Nice.
it's perfect to cover your tracks. He says, but not so perfect if it goes off while you're in the building.
Don't have to worry about blowing out pipes if you're going to blow it up already.
Well, here's the thing. He can buy us a window.
A window. Okay.
He can disable. Don't fucking ask me how, because I don't even fucking know. But he can disable them for literally 30 seconds. I'm talking he will disable the entire floor. Locks won't work. Lights won't work. Nothing will work. So if there's mag locks, the doors are just going to swing open.
For 30 seconds, though.
Which is enough time to get you in the building.
30 seconds is a long time when you're trying to get things done.
It's like, that gets you in. Once you're in, you're back on their shit list.
Wait. This doesn't take away from blowing things up.
Yeah, which means that you gotta find a way to shut them down. Communication has to be taken as a priority. They cannot be able to send out any SOS. And I guarantee you, Arasaka monitors, so you probably have maybe 10 minutes before there's an auto trigger.
All right. All right.
Yeah, who has that access? Who do
Who
we
has
need to
it?
hit?
Who has the access to the auto trigger? You want to go into Arasaka headquarters?
No, who's going to be sending the SOS? Is there like a communications area that we need to hit?
I'm sure it's fairly fucking automated.
Yeah, it's usually automated.
It's the equivalent of what they used to call a dummy switch. You know, if
Just gotta
something
find-
happens,
Well, I
then
thought you just said
it's-
we had to do something about it.
yeah, in those 30 seconds when you're making a breach, you have to be
Uh-huh.
ready. Someone has to take out security at the same time you guys are breaching the building.
literally and figuratively, because there's plainclothes security that's going to be running around, and that's not counting what security systems they have in place.
It's like the only automated security systems will probably be on the roof and on the lower floors. It's like, I doubt they have, well, shit. It's Arasaka. They probably would put fucking automatic security inside their own building, and it would probably shoot indiscriminately. He's like, but we don't know that for sure. He said the only thing we know for sure is that this is a window opportunity to get you in the building and give you the time to disable their communications and whatever else you can disable. It says, so this is the last bit of info I have for you. And he kind of like slides a data pad across the table. I have a funny feeling that Madness is buying you all dice rolls.
Fantastic.
Let's see. Yeah, Madness is.
And I'm like, I don't want you guys to die. You're going to need all the help. Thank you.
Madness is buying everyone dice rolls.
Love it.
Plus
Love it.
one
Love
so
it.
far. But yeah, he says, look, so, and he slides a data pad across the table to you. What you see is a layout for the top floor of this building. It's a cheap building, so it's basically a rectangle. It says, along the short walls, in between the corners, there is 8 cubicle-like apartments. Those are the ones he called the coffin apartments. Along the walls, there's 8 apartments that are set up as 2-bedroom apartments spaced along the walls. He said, this is the basic layout. He says, the thing they can't fuck with is the core. And he kind of like hits a button, and you see that there's a central box, basically another rectangle inside the big rectangle. He said, he kind of like taps 2 squares. He's like, elevators. To the outside of the squares, he says, staircases, emergency stairs going down. He says, this, and he traces the outline of the rectangle holding all that. He said, this is all the reinforced plasticrete that holds all the weight of the building. He says, if Arasaka's not fucking around and they want to make sure that this place goes bye-bye, he says, I guarantee you anything they're putting to blow this place is centered around those cores. Because they want this shit. They probably intend to blow the whole fucking building. Which means they want the building to collapse on itself. That's probably why they hold several floors at the top. Because you get enough weight to collapse down, the building's gonna go. It's like,
I'm wondering.
and he's like, and then he hits another button. That disappears. You see that the entire floor plan's been rearranged. There is a long room that goes along one entire side of the building. It's divided into 3 separate areas. You can see that each area has a single door on it that leads into the next area down. And the area on the north side of the building, the north facing edge of the building, has a doorway that goes out. And then it's kind of like into a hallway area that goes along the outside edge of the building, the short edge, across the way, where there is another setup just like that, except there is a door that is on a small hallway that goes to the elevator entrances. And you can see that the walls here are thicker than the walls in the floor plans on the floors below. Literally, on the drawing, they look twice as thick. And this is an actual schematic. You can see that there is what looks to be probably a security station on this level, which is that one office that is right there at the end of the hallway, and that is on the north. You're on the northeast side of the building. On the northwest corner of the building is a security station. It says, and then there's a hallway going down south from that goes to the elevator bays. That door and that wall that goes to that hallway are both look like they're heavily reinforced. And then you can see on the other end, there's another hallway that comes off of basically the southwest corner. And there's another security station there. And there's another door there that leads to the hallway that goes to the elevators. There's no other way to get to the elevators on that floor. The elevators and the stairs. And there's no other doors on that side except for those 2 security doors at either end of the hall. And in between the 2 security stations, it looks like there is a room there, like there's storage basically, and you can only get into those rooms by going through the security stations. So it's probably a lot of the chemicals and stuff like that they use for research, and they're basically there because they're the most expensive thing in the building. And that's probably the vault. He says, so 2 teams, either security station. He says probably a 3-man at least, if not a 5-man team. He's like, and then you got at least 2 floors below it with 1 team on each floor. So that's 15 fucking security possibly. And they're not going to be chumps. They're going to be Arasaka.
The name brand Target is still a Target.
He's like,
Bowie, where do we need to get you so that you can do your magic?
Oh, well, I probably want to. I'm thinking that maybe one of the security stations might be a good idea to tap into the system. The problem is getting past the security in that area.
this is the vents at the top of the ceiling, the vents into the HVAC. He says that's a way to get in. He says if you have 30 seconds without any interference, you could probably slide down the HVAC vents to get into the building. He's like, I don't know how many you could get through that fast. He says because once you get past them, he's like that security is gonna. So you got 30 seconds to get as many people down the vents as you can. He's like,
If I'm gonna work in the security, I'll need some cover to cover fire, if you will, because that doesn't, just because we've taken out the people in there doesn't mean there aren't going to be more Arasaka coming to see what's going on.
He says, I know that because they're not hardwired, anything that they're going to do for any signals they're going to send to Arasaka has to be done wireless, which means there's going to be either radio antennas or microwave dishes on top of that building, which means that those, if you take those out, they're not going to be able to send the SOS. And if you do it during the 30 seconds, they're basically cut off. And you got probably 10 minutes, I'd say 5, just to be safe. Because they're going to, back at home office, they're going to have it on a timer. And if they don't get a signal within X amount of time.
What if we set up the dummy signal?
You'd have to be able to break that signal, find it. You have to find the signal. You have to basically uncode the signal and then be able to replicate it.
You'd be surprised what I can do. But it's a thought. If it's too complex, I'll back off.
Blow up dish.
He's like, oh yeah, no. The dish would be a great thing to blow up, making sure that they can't, like, just cutting the wires means someone might be able to come up on the roof and repair it. But if you blow it the fuck up, there's nothing to repair. He's like,
Jester, explosion back on table.
Explosion back on table.
I'm so excited.
Oh, explosions on
Yes.
table. If she wants to get into security office, explosions back on the table. I mean, Anna's strong, but Anna, do you think you can get through a reinforced door in a reinforced wall?
Actually, yes. It just takes time.
Shit, really?
I mean, again, metagaming, but looking at the rules, yeah, I can. Enough time, I can literally rip through a bank vault.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, what if we were to break into, like, say, 2 teams, and one team be you and Jester, because Jester's got all that contortionist and flipping around. Both of you could go through the vent, because I'm not sure Anna could fit through that vent.
Mm-hmm.
But if you 2 could go in first, and then we could hit it after, and then you could start, working your stuff. And then if Jester's plan for getting the gangs, if that's distracting the security team, they'll be looking the other way while I'm assuming you do what you do.
That's the plan. Conversely, we could also have Crest and Jester pair up to to blow up things on the roof. They can potentially send signals, and then you can come in, just barrel on through, and I'll go through the vents, and we'll meet in the security room.
Yeah, I like that, because that way they'll be looking either at the gangs who are trying to come up, or whatever freak is coming through the door.
A multi-pronged attack, because they've got explosions going off on the roof. The gangs are coming upstairs, and then you're plowing through the wall. It'll be great. What could go wrong?
I'm actually kind of impressed. He said,
The
so
hell of-
you get the gangs coming up from below, which ties up the patrols below. He says, Anna could just tear the fucking door off the stairs on the roof while you guys blow up the thing. You don't have to go through the vents anymore. He's like, and then you're looking at the 2 teams. Shit. The 2 teams in the security patrols, but you want access to one of those security halls anyway. He's like, so once Chris and Jester get done with the fucking dish, they can come down the staircase for reinforcements. He's like, because there ain't gonna be any door, because Anna doesn't like doors.
Let's see, 3 to 5 guys. I think I can do that.
I prefer to call that creative entry, actually.
I like that car. It is good car. I will give you that. I need to remember that. Anna, we have nothing to say for you.
All right.
He's like, all right, so then I'm gonna go tell my nomad that everything's good to go. He's like, what time do you guys gonna want to head out? He's like, he kind of takes I'm assuming you had the list on a data pad. He takes and looks at it, and he's like, oh, this shit's kind of mundane. I'm almost kind of sad.
Then give us more shit.
He's like, I don't know what you need. I'll go buy you
Figure
50
it
feet
out.
of rope. Figure it out.
Fucking rope.
I'll go buy you more rope. How's that? Jesus Christ.
I always do a lot with rope.
Bullets in the C4. Bullets in the C4. That's all I need.
Okay,
I'll
but
find
listen,
you
yelling at him
listen.
like that.
Listen, if you use the rope to attach it to the C4, to lower it down into an area where you don't want to be, but you want the C4 to be, and then you explode it. I'm just saying, rope can help you blow a lot of things up.
Jester,
Yes?
I'm gonna be honest. When I first watched you, you made such beautiful patsy, but now I see we're going to be friends.
The way the world works.
He says,
And,
I can get you
We're
explosives.
adopting them.
I'm back, by the way.
We can get you explosives. That's not a problem. He's like, C4 is about as common as fucking anything, so don't worry about that. He's like, but the more I get, the more eyes will be on us. So he says, so I got that all good. He says, and you know, bullets, we have tons. Don't worry about that. You know, so whatever you need for that, we're good. He's like, so yeah. He's like, I can have this here in probably about 45 minutes. He's like, so
45
what?
minutes?
How much longer do you guys want before I tell him to be ready?
45 minutes is fine with me.
He's like, I'll just have it sent to where the hell where he is. He's like, you guys can meet it up there and load it up and get and haul ass from there.
The last thing we have to do outside of our own prep is, you know, instigating a gang or 2 or 3.
Like,
We could even get 4 if we want to be crazy.
I'm assuming that that's gonna be something you do, Jester.
Maybe not me personally, but I have some little puppets that could help.
He's like, in that case, and he slides a data chip across to you. He's like, that's all the info on the job if you need to use that.
Perfect.
Oh no, it accidentally fell into a building. Oh
I don't
no.
know. Pamphlets fell from the sky with details about everything going on in that building. And all the money that's up there right now.
How unfortunate.
So, and if you want to, you can maybe let it slide that once an explosion happens, that's probably the go sign.
I have some ideas.
All right. So, actually, Cove, for actual
Aye.
kind of mechanics, what are you guys doing?
So this actually works perfect on short notice for Jester because all of Jester's shows are incredibly short notice anyway. So
Pop-up
Jester's
theater.
essentially, is essentially going to set up a show, and is going to start like essentially. They're not going to pass out the information, but the information's going to be around and available. By happenstance, unrelated to them, just like the murders.
Happy little coinky dink.
Exactly. And so they're going to be hanging around specifically where they know these gangs congregate. So probably not too close to the building, but not too far. Probably around a bar that they typically frequent. And yeah, would put on that show. Might even split up the information. Have some people get some information, some people get others, but every single one would have the time limit, so the time frame that's happening, and what they stand to gain by reputation and the opportunity they're getting. And that is the plan on Jester's end.
Yeah, I was gonna say you really just had to put dollar amounts down.
Exactly. But wanted to put the rep there.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like you want a pride hit or boost? You decide.
And one thing I probably didn't make clear enough is that the gangs do occupy the building. The reason they have an unsteady truce that basically says you don't get off at the wrong floor, and the ground floor, actually the first 4 floors are all still apartments for people. People still live in the building, and there's different levels where there's only like civilian, pretty much apartments. And so
It's a bad day for them.
so as it keeps on going up, like, you know, it's like the first 5 floors are one gang's territory, and the first 2 floors below that are civilian housing. Then 4 floors between that is 5 floors between that is someone else, and then 10 floors after that is another gang's housing, and then like X amount of floors is people, and then 20 floors up from the next 20 floors after that are another gang's thing, and then it's just more people up until you get near Arasaka.
Oh, something I totally forgot to mention, that would probably help the audience understand what the hell I'm saying. Jester's fans are called puppets. That's what they've called themselves. So when Jester's like, yeah, you know, I have some puppets that could help me with this, he's referring to the people who follow him around as his fan base.
Got it. So basically, they're going to be the ones distributing the info.
Oh yeah, nothing to do with him.
Except for their fans.
But that's it.
So they're going to go. So you basically get the info out to them. You let them know when you want to. I'm assuming you're going to want them to go now. To get there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So you get there. I'm assuming you're going to give them like 30 minutes or so, or give them some time to get back to you and let you know that it's a go. So after about 30 to 45 minutes, you get a message on your comms, basically saying that, you know, the hornet's nest has been stirred. The bees are angry.
Colorful. I like it.
You're looking at it, and fucking Basket's kind of like looks over your shoulder. He's like, "Bees aren't in a hornet's nest."
It doesn't make sense, but it's creative. You know, they tried. They did their best.
He's like, "I got the delivery set up." He's like, "If you guys want to, lift over to the Hella site?"
Yes.
He's like, "All right." So he Basket goes outside, and you see that there is like a fairly beat up sedan in the outside of the bar, and he's like, "Hop in."
Yay! I'll climb in.
Anna,
Get in the back. And she's also taking out a sort of a special brush in her little duffel bag, her little blinged out duffel bag,
mm-hmm.
And running it through her hair. And the shine of the hair is starting to go more and more black until it's like pure, just sort of raven black.
Mm-hmm.
As she does that, again, because you know this is Arasaka. You know I can't be Anna. You know, this normally she goes full out and wants everybody to know, but this is not that sort of situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, she's going more incognito as far as that's concerned.
Gotcha.
But she's got tech hair, she's got skin hue and all of that, so she's shifting those things around.
Gotcha.
I mean, she's still huge, but you know.
Yeah. There's other edge runners who like use the same basic MO. So you're not uncommon. Okay. Amanda said,
Sorry, Anna with the juicy couture duffel just died.
So you guys, he drives you about probably about only like 6 blocks away, and at this place there is a huge pay parking garage. And he drives into that, and you know you get motion sickness as he drives his way all the way up the parking garage. It gets to the top floor, and there are 2 helipads on the floor at the top floor. You can see that there is a very large helicopter sitting on one of the pads. There is a figure who is loading gear into the back of the helicopter, into like a cargo unit on the helicopter, and as they look over and they see you guys driving across the parking lot towards them, they smile super wide, and the person's wearing a cowboy hat, has a like leather vest on that has got cowhide patterns on it. They're wearing what looks to be blue jeans, and they have boots on that the blue jeans are tucked into. They're wearing a gigantic rodeo belt buckle. They probably stand about 6 feet tall, but they are rail thin. And they're wearing a Western shirt with one of those leather bolas around their neck hanging down. and they're kind of and on their hip is literally a 6-shooter.
Amazing.
Okay. So what do you think the over under on? We're either going to hear Flight of the Valkyrie, or the old western where the Rough Riders or something like that. What do you think we're going to get?
Hmm.
And he kind of looks at y'all and he sees y'all coming up as you guys start getting out of the car. He's like, welcome to the friendly skies. He's like, name's Tyler.
Of course it is.
What the fuck does that mean?
Howdy, Tyler. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I understand we got a job.
We do.
He's like, have any of you rode in a helicopter before? All right. He's like, when we get near the building, I can't get super close. He's like, the rotors are going to cause massive updraft and we're going to be like kind of fucked up. He's like, so what we're going to do is I'm going to dangle you down. He's like, I was told that there might be a change of plans from a rooftop incursion to a possible incursion in through the windows. Is that still a thing?
I need to be dropped off on the roof.
Okay, so we're still, we're at least hitting the roof.
Yes.
He's like,
we're
all
going
right.
to the roof. I don't think we're.
Roof.
Yeah.
He says, so what I need you to know is that we're going to have a window of time that I can get to the roof where we are literally not going to make any noise. He says, I can get in and off the roof in about 60 seconds. He's like, so you're going to have maybe 25, 30 seconds to get the fuck off my chopper and on the roof. He says, but the only reason for that is, he says, I've got a hush system, but it uses a fuck ton of juice. He's like, and I can't run it for long because you can't put batteries heavy enough on these fuckers to actually run that. And a hush system just means that my gas motor shuts off and I have an electric motor that can power my rotors. He's like, the rotors still make a shit ton of noise, but there's no more engine noise. He's like, so people who know what a helicopter or a plane sound like, they ain't gonna know what the fuck's happening. He says, so that's how I'm getting you in and out. He's like, I can actually run the hush mower for a couple of minutes. He's like, but I got to be able to come at this building where they don't see us coming, so they won't hear us coming. Which means we're going to be doing a lot of flying through building canyons, if you get my meaning. He's like, so anyone who gets motion sickness, I hope you didn't eat anything too spicy or heavy because you're going to chuck it all over the floorboard of my helicopter. He's like, but don't worry, I'm being compensated. He's like, all right. Oh, and if anything starts shooting at us, I'm bucking the fuck out because I am not going to lose my bird for nothing.
Noted.
Fair enough.
He's like, and I was told you were informed that I'm not providing extraction because I'm not flying my bird into a hot zone.
Yes, we're aware.
All right, I just want to make sure. Sometimes, you make deals with people and you get the people up in the air and you go tell them that when you're in the sky and they're like, fuck you, you're coming to get us. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then they pull a gun on you in the middle of the sky. And you're like, what are you going to do? Kill me and crash? And I'm like, they're like, yes. And I'm like, that's stupid. And then, it goes bad from there.
Why are you telling us all this?
Because I'm nervous. I'm about to go drop people off on top of a gang building in a war zone.
Listen, Choom, we got it. You fly close, we dangle. You go quiet, we stop dangling, and that's it.
Pretty
We
much.
got it.
Anna walks behind Tyler and puts her arms on his shoulders and just sort of like leans in. It's like, Tyler knows what he's doing. I'm sure he will be very brave and very competent.
He's just like staring straight at you. He's like, holy fuck, that's creepy.
It's not just me.
He's like, her hands are huge.
Tyler,
Yeah.
fly that damn helicopter.
Right. He was walking off. So Tyler gets up. The actual cargo area, the seating area has room for 6. It's kind of like a very large Huey helicopter. It's got sliding doors on the sides. There's 2 benches facing each other. You know, probably more than 6 people could squeeze in here, but it easily seats 6. You can see that your gear is, there's a little like closed panel on the back that your gear is put in. So if you're gonna take your gear with you, you're gonna have to pull it out of that and take it with you in the main cabin to distribute it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you pull the duffel bag out, you jump into the cabin. The moment you get in, Tyler's like, you know, as you're getting in, he's actually starting the engines up, and quickly the copter gets up to speed, and he taps the headset like it's on, that's hung on a hook behind him. Someone put it on, because you can't even hear each other.
Sure. Why not?
He's like, all right, I'm going to do a couple of loops around the area real fast to get the lay of the land. And says, and then I'm going to start heading down into the city, into the war zone proper. He says, it is risky. There are people with RPGs and the like who nothing better than shooting down dumbass edge runners who pay people dumbass money to fly them dumbass places. He's like, so if I have to do any sudden flying, I need someone to have a headset on so I can at least give you some warning.
Just gonna pass the headset to someone else.
Oh, we'll take it and put it on. Which is all electronics anyway. So
I start getting all the
Todd
gear
is shaking his
sorted.
head. He's like, I am not going to explain all this again. If I have to do anything crazy, you're going to have to let them know so they can grab onto something.
you got it.
All right, Jesus Christ. So Tyler basically goes and flies. You guys know where the war zones are. War zones are areas of the city that basically the police do not patrol. It's lawless. They're also basically the absolute poorest areas of the city. 90% of the electricity there and everything like that is stolen. Basically, they hack the system and they do. There's lots of fires because they have to rig the electricity to get electricity places. It says there's some places that are able to pay for utilities and stuff like that. And it says, and there's legitimate businesses in there too, but it is a war zone. So even the legitimate businesses that are there, like, are heavily fortified and have security for the businesses. So they basically are in a literal war zone. You guys, he flies over around us, and there is all kinds of buildings in the same way. There's tenement housing everywhere. Nightcity is on the coast in the northwest. It's on the coast, right on what would be the state border between California and Oregon. So it's between Portland and, well, San Francisco, but San Francisco is much farther south. But there is an area there where the cliffs aren't as bad, the beach isn't as rocky, so Nightcity is a port city. It's also a big source of trade internationally between Japan and Russia and Nightcity itself. And it's got a lot of people it needs to employ, but it's corporate, so they make jack and shit. So this is the working poor. Everything in here is not designed to be friendly. So the helicopter is flying, and you can even see some people like are randomly on the streets coming out and just popping shots off with small arms. Every now and then a bullet ricochets off the helicopter. So, you guys he does a couple of turns around Nightcity, again, around the war zone, I should say. And then he basically goes on the comms and he says, luckily enough, seems to be a quiet night. He says, all right, I've got my lay of the land. He's like, I know I'm coming in. He says, it's going to be kind of rough. He's like, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to get your shit together. He's like, because I know you're passing around gear. He's like, just give me a heads up whenever I can start my run. He says, the rappel ropes are already, well, you could see them. They're basically wound by the door. And they're like already mounted onto hooks in the floor. He said, the rappel ropes are there. He says, there's a harness on each one. There's 4 harnesses, either side of the helicopter. He says, I'm going to come in low on the building, and then I'm going to elevate up, dump you off, and then I'm going to elevate off. He says, does that make sense?
Dangle,
No.
dump, elevate. Got it.
All right. He says, so you guys are going to be hanging.
That was a hell of a thing to say.
You're welcome.
He's like, you guys are going to be hanging out over space for a while, so don't freak out. Don't freak out on me. He says the
And make
harness
sure
is-
that her grapple gun is where she can get to it quickly.
Yep. He says, oh, and the harnesses, don't worry about weight limits. The harnesses will hold anybody up. He says, they're Kevlar weaves. They'll be fine. He says, all right, you cowpokes, you guys ready to fly?
Yes, sir.
Let's
He's
do it.
He's like, when I pull up in front of the building, you'll know because I'll be flying straight at it and suddenly come to a stop. He's like, you guys throw the doors open, kick the ropes out, snap on the harnesses, and rappel down. He's like, the moment I see you leave my cabin, I am starting up. He's like, and you will know this because you will suddenly feel the weight of the earth on your ass. He's like, so hang the fuck on. He's like, is everyone good?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a plan.
He's like, all right, I'm assuming you're strapped in because you said go. And the elevator just fucking banks and goes right down in between buildings. These buildings, like, this is narrow as shit. This is not like New York's main avenue down the fucking on Manhattan. This is like narrow tenement housing. He is flying some scary shit. Does anyone actually have any problems with severe motion sickness?
No.
Be out of a job.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
And is the same way. I mean, all the flipping around and leaping and stuff she does. She's
All the combating.
But my character is an actual former soldier type, so
Oh, yeah.
same.
I was gonna say,
No.
Chris is like leaning back in the seat, getting a nap.
This feels like home.
So after he starts, he's maneuvering between the buildings and everything like that. Suddenly, it sounds like the engine just cuts out. You can hear like the beating of the blades, and you can feel that weird electrostatic charge of a large electric engine generator somewhere near you. And the helicopter is just swooping through the buildings, which is even scarier than it being fucking loud. And so as you sweep through the buildings, he comes up the street, and at the end of the street, you see basically it ends in a T-juncture, and you see the facade of another building is right at the end of the T. His helicopter comes flying right up to it, and this like comes to a stop. You're still like 10 stories off the ground. He comes up to a like nose stop, almost blades almost hitting the building, and then you guys throw open the side doors. The harnesses are designed to hold you. You do not have to make a climb roll or anything like that. But as you all bail out to rappel down, the helicopter just starts ascending. So when you hit the end of that rope, instead of just you slowing down, you guys slam into the end of that harness clip, and it's just like everyone's just like rocked, hanging onto the rope. He's streaking up. He gets over the top of the building. Before we say he's dropping you, I want you guys to tell me what your exact plans are the moment you release the harness and go. So I'm going to start with Bishi, and then we're going to work our way with the two solos first, and then I'm going to go to the Rocker Boy and then the Netrunner. So we'll start with Bishi, solo 1. What are you doing?
finding the entrance to where it is I can go in for the
Staircase
to
entrance
get to the
down?
hallway with it. Yeah.
Got it.
The very first thing I'm going to do, and if I see somebody like, say, a guard or someone in between me and it,
Mhm.
then as I'm running in that direction, I'm going to basically clock him with a kick.
Got it.
It just
Excellent.
depends on how far away he is. So yeah.
Understood. All right, solo number 2. What are
right.
you doing, Chris?
What is on the roof?
On the roof, when you come over the edge, this is what you're going to see. Immediately to your right is one of those large... well, no, actually in the center of the roof, there is a large structure, which is probably the top of the elevators and the entrances to the staircase. It's basically like as big as the elevator shaft area was on the layout. And above that, built on top of that, is the HVAC system on top of that, with ducts going into the roof on either side of it that probably go down along that shaft and go out to the other portions of the building. So on this side of the building that he's coming up on, which would be the north the north flat side, as that side of the building, as you come up, there is a large tank on the top of the building with multiple support legs. You can tell that this is just a huge
I thought you were
tank.
talking about a mother tank.
Yeah, no. It
Okay.
shoots you out of the
Water
sky.
tank.
The game is over, and thank you all for
Okay.
playing. It was been
Wow.
fun.
Am I the
Anna was-
only one that thought it was like a water tank? Like I was seeing the WB water tower. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Anna was straight up thinking maybe I should change direction and try and.
She just turns around and decks the tank.
So
Oh,
when you
what'd you do today? I punched a tank.
So-
My character hits the ground,
Mhm.
rolls, and is going to take a defensive position on an area to cover everyone's entrance into the main doorway that is going to be entered. And once they're clear, she's got other work to do. So any structure that is a good segue between the satellite and where they're going in.
Gotcha.
Duck and
Excellent.
roll.
Understood.
Gun out.
Okay, so now we're going over to on our rocker boy. What are you going to be doing?
First of all, Jester's gonna try to hit the ground as showily as possible, because it has to be fun. This is, we have to have some fun here. God damn it! And if there could be like glitter out of the pockets upon landing, or like confetti, there would be.
Only thing
But-
the only thing I keep on thinking now is from the producers, make it gay.
It's like does like this little like tuck and roll to get there, and it's just on one knee. Ta. There could be the little like. There's a sound effect and everything. It's
Glitter
really
shoots out of the
quiet.
fingertips.
It's really quiet. But Jester's job currently is to stick with Christ and to aid in the exploding of things. So Jester will then go book it around Christ, not trying to impede her movement in any way, shape, or form, very specifically, but will be on high alert in case they need to dodge things or need to grab something quickly.
So since you're going to be spotting it first, since Chris is going to be more of an overlook and what they call overwatch, shooting anything that's dangerous, as you run by Chris, you're going to see on the southeast corner of the building, there is a metal structure in a chain link fence area on the corner of the building, and inside that you can see a very large microwave dish and its own little power generator on the microwave dish.
That will be noted and pointed out at the correct time.
Okay. And then finally, we have our netrunner.
Okay.
Bully, what are you doing?
Right before everything happens, she says into the headset, "Pleasure flying with you, Choom," and then dumps her ass out as well because this adrenaline junkie loves this shit. So she's less showy than the performer, but she does like a little spiral situation where she spirals in like kind of directly after Anna and like lands and like free run style kind of keeps herself behind Anna because that's her hobby. She likes to free run. So she so they're like plugging along behind Anna, letting Anna kind of mow through everything in front of them. And just kind of keeping arms in, dodging any keeping herself small, as small as she can, because her job is inside, not outside.
Yep.
So
you're basically using Anna for cover for the most part.
yes, pretty much. Anna's my shield. Yeah.
Oh my god, we have our runners and our shields. That's how we.
Yes.
So he gets you up on top of the building. You go over the tank, and then he lowers you back down to where you guys can drop off the harnesses and hit the roof. The easiest place for you to go, Chris, is right beside the big building that the HVAC is on top of. Remember I said it has the ductwork that comes out and goes down into the roof? You can go between the ductwork so you'll have cover, and you'll be able to cover that side of the roof. Of course, you can't see the other side of the roof just because there's a big building between you and it. And that's the same side of the roof that the actual microwave tower is going to be on, that Jester's going to be booking for. Anna, you and Bowie are on the other side. You can see that there is a set of doors on this side of that large structure the HVAC is on top of. Not a set of doors. There's a one large steel door, and the door literally just says roof access stenciled in big red letters on it. It looks like a very decently thick steel reinforced door. And as you hit the ground, you can see that there is a guy in an Arasaka security suit who is sitting on a stool right beside the door with his gun sitting, like, leaning up against the wall beside him. And he literally has, like, his data pad out. And as he sees you hit the ground and running, you see the data pad falling out of his hand, and it looks like he was playing Fortnite.
Nice to know they still have Fortnite even now.
Batman's playing Galaga. We know,
Fortnite
we saw
never
him.
dies. That's all there is to it. So what we're going to do next is we're going to pause the game because we're about to get into our first combat.
Oh no.
And it's only 10 minutes till 11. And I guarantee you the combat's going to take longer than 10 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause it here. So far, only one person in opposition is on the roof that you can see. So that's the only thing you have to get through. Chris, there's no one between Jester and the microwave tower, but you still have to, like, move around and check the other side of the building. So I just want to make sure that we understand that. So when we start playing again, actually, you can tell me this now. Would you have stopped Jester from moving forward before you checked it, or would you let Jester move forward across the open space?
You're also assuming that Jester would move forward without the go-ahead of the
That's
person
true.
covering
No.
them.
That's true.
They like games. They don't have a full-on death wish. Kind of one, but not
Only
fully.
a slight one.
Only a little one. It's mostly for other people.
Mostly for other people.
All right, so we'll assume that you're going to check that. So when we get back, you'll be checking around the corner to see if the rest of the roof is clear. It's pretty obvious that Anna is going to have a target. And luckily enough, the target is right beside the door that Anna's going for. So that's where we'll start off, right when we start the next game session. We are going to be playing this every 2 weeks on Fridays. So if you guys want to join us again, we will be back. What's 2 weeks from now? Back on the 15th? Is it the 15th? Yes, the 15th, March the 15th. And we'll be playing this every 2 weeks after that. Number one, thank you for joining us at Dinner and a Game. We really appreciate it. I thank my players for joining us. As always with these games, it gets off to a slow start, but we build up to it, and I can already see this is going to be wonderful because you guys took a rough beginning and really ran with it and stuck to your characters' individual personalities and didn't let that deter you, because I absolutely love Higher Thrall that you are Queen Bitch.
Great.
Because you every single time you like fucking Basket was walking up towards the group, he was like, Anna's terrifying, but yeah, that bitch will shoot me.
My instinct is to constantly say, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Like every time.
It's brilliant. Trust me. It's going to be, I hope it becomes fun for you. You can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you.
And I love fucking how Anna's just like, no, I'm just going to smash it. To everything.
All of it.
At first she gets
We
all
love it.
tactical and she's thinking about it. She comes up with plans, and then in the end her plan ends up being, nah, I'm just gonna smash it.
But in style.
Yes, absolutely in style.
With that juicy couture going on.
Yes.
And of course, we have Bowie, who's like, I can't do anything up here.
No, she's just so damn sweet to everyone.
It's just a little ray of sunshine, like, hey, this is fine, we're good. It's great.
We've got Anna, who is, oh no, honey, it's okay. You're fantastic, and I love you. Then you've got Bowie, who's, oh my god, you're so sweet. Thank you. And Jester and me are over here like, bitch.
Oh, Jester's like, look, I understand that I'm homicidal, but I'm also a very nice person. People just happen to drop dead on my shows. There's no way you can prove it was me.
What?
All right. So, guys, let's go ahead and go around the loop and let everyone say where they can be found on the mighty interwebs. We will start with our newbies, and since we started with Hythral last time, we will start with Vixie Bell this time.
Oh.
Vixie, where can people find you on the massive interwebs?
You can find me on pretty much most forms of social media in some way, shape, or form. You can find me at Vixie Bell or at Vixie Bell Cosplay on pretty much everywhere. Instagram is the medium that I use the most. I'm also on Twitch with a little art stream, and I also have an actual play TTRPG called the Pocket Dragon Pub that you can also find on Twitch. So you can find me pretty much everywhere. You'll see my face somewhere. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you. And Hythral, where can people find you on the massive interwebs?
Pretty much everywhere, except Twitter. Instagram and TikTok are probably my most used. I'm still on Facebook for some reason. I have a Twitch and a YouTube. I'm not very active there, but I would still appreciate the support.
Absolutely. And let me fix this. I did your thing wrong, so I gotta fix it real fast. But yes, and next we'll go over to Bishi. Bishi, where can people find you on the mighty interwebs?
You can find me mostly on Twitter and Twitch. I stream, I play games with my friends, the Breakfast Crew, especially on Mondays and Sundays. We've been playing Stardew Valley. You can find me here with Dinner and a Game on Sunday for an amazing game. What is it officially called? Give me the name. Of Light and Loss, absolutely. Where I get to play Trash and her lovely puppet, Alphonse. Yeah, and like I said, Monday I am going to have a stream with the Breakfast Crew once again, playing Stardew Valley. And yeah, after about mid-March, I should start doing some more solo streams because that will be after my health procedure, and hopefully everything goes well. So yay!
Absolutely. Hopefully everything goes perfect.
So find me on Twitter, find me on Twitch, watch a bun.
Absolutely. And finally, Cove, where can people find you on the mighty interwebs?
Hello. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Selkie Cove. I promise you that I, in particular, am not homicidal. I play a lot of characters that do a lot of very homicidal things. I promise it's just a character trope. It has nothing to do with real life intentions most of the time. But you can find me here every other Friday playing Jester on Cyberpunk Red, which, you know, we're going to get into more homicide, and I'm very excited for it. Supposed homicide. But you can also find me on Dinner and a Game on Tuesdays, where I get to play Fia Cormiran, who is a Macaulay pirate captain who is from the 1700s, was born in the 1600s, but has since gone to sleep for a very long time and is now in modern times, and helping out with all of that. That is every week. Then you can also find me on Saturdays on Meister Hypester's Twitch channel. Currently, we'll be getting our own Twitch channel for it later, playing Vampire the Masquerade Endless Nights, where I get to play Amaret Fane, who is one of my only non-homicidal characters. Fia's not quite homicidal, but Amaret has a humanity level of 9. She's very human, very sweet, doing their best. Oh my god, they're doing their best. We're actually
everyone else is homicidal then.
They are. They all are. They all are. But we're actually finally coming off of an almost 3-month hiatus tomorrow. So if you want to catch us from where we're picking up on that, and if you want to get a nice introduction to the game if you haven't seen us play before, tomorrow's actually a great point to do that. And then finally, you can also find me over on World Tree Quests, every Thursday, playing a completely underwater D&D game called Fathoms Below, where I get to play a horrendously fucked up little scientific experiment named Echo. I love them to bits. They eat people.
I literally heard them, I think, offer to eat 3 different people in the last game. It would be like the person would be like saying how bad things were, and then Echo would be like, "I could eat you." It was like polite. It was polite. It was consent. There was consent for something horrible to happen, but still. And you can find all the Dinner and Games content in our link tree. Our links and everyone else's links are currently in our chat right now. Please, if you can do any one thing for anybody who's a content creator, take a couple seconds and hit the follow button on any one of their links. We make content because we enjoy it. It's our hobby. We like doing it. But when we see that like on our content, it's a serotonin boost we can't even begin to explain. And I can guarantee you that you will like the content these people create, because I did. And I have very good taste, because look who I hang out with. So this is obvious that it's the right thing to do. Now, remember, Dinner and a Game is going to continue raising funds for PCRF until we hit $1,000. We will be keeping to do that in every single show, and we thank anyone who can donate for any amount. And remember, you can use those donations to affect the game, just like you can with the bits and with the dagger dollars. And everything is basically the same amounts, kind of like in the bits. So like $1 covers the plus ones and stuff like that. And we will be putting that scrolls through chat regularly on the amounts. So look for that. And if you want to join us in our Discord, we will greatly appreciate it. We love having people there to talk about the games, say what you like, what you didn't like. And if you guys want to, you can follow us on any one of our social medias to see more of the live shows. We go live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. So we have a lot of lives. And we go live on them all at the same time, because I have a beast and she does very good and I love her very much. I think I'm going to name her Abigail. But all that being said, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you are on any of our other channels, we're going to wish you a very, very good evening and hope you have a very great weekend. If you are on Twitch, hang out for a few minutes. We're going to find someone to raid, and we appreciate everyone. Remember, at Dinner Game, we always save you a seat at the table. Please do your best to take care of yourselves and be safe. We want you to be able to join us every single game you can, and you have the spoons to do so, and that means you have to be okay to do it, which means social distance where you can, wear a mask when you can, and do what you can to keep yourselves safe. We love you all very much. We will see you in 2 weeks again for this game, and we'll see you Sunday morning for Of Light and Loss. Thank you all so much. Have a good night.